Well, Odyllita is finally here. Sort of a bittersweet feeling considering that we were supposed to have this a good while ago, but at least we have it now, and that's what matters. I'm gonna be real, I don't personally care about Odyllita. I'm just gonna be completely honest. Like, I don't want to be that negative dude with the whole Odyllita situation, but I'm just gonna be honest. I just don't care. I just really don't care. And I'm gonna explain why. So I went to two grind spots. I went to Olin's Valley and I went to Turos. Thornwood didn't really interest me, and Crypt and Ash Forest are, yeah, those are not even, no. Even with my DP, I could not handle it. Olin's Valley is a sort of special case because you can grind it, but I don't think it's going to be efficient. There's probably only a handful, and I mean that, a literal handful, like maybe 50 players tops that can grind Olin's Valley. Unless there's just some kind of hidden super geared players that I don't know about. But most of the geared players, and I'm talking 670s to 680s, which is about the highest you can get on console, they are going to struggle in Olin's Valley. Mind you, I'm 383 DP on my Warrior and Zerker. I don't grind with the Zerker, first of all, so I don't know why I mentioned that, but I just, whatever. On my Warrior, I'll play Succession or Awakening. Either which way. I tried both. And I could live in Olin's, it's not terrible, but if I fuck up at all, I'm dead. Immediately dead. The mobs will insta-kill you with their one-shot mechanic. You really have to pay attention and do back attacks, and you have to bring competent people that have like 293 Kudum easily. Anything less than 293, you are going to be doing minuscule amounts of damage. Olin's is rough. It is really rough. It's not a comfortable grind, and it's very sweaty. So if you're gonna grind there, you gotta be at least like 660 to 670. That's like, and I mean like 660 bare minimum to be comfortable there. And if you're on a squishy class, forget about it. You're gonna die in an instant. So with Olin's kind of settled and only a select amount of players are going to be able to grind there, let's talk about Turos, which I think is the better grind spot in the sense of at least being able to grind there comfortably. You still roughly need like 340 to 350 DP. Anything less than that, you're going to be really not comfortable because those mobs do hit hard and they stun very often. They have like a stiff, a stun, a knockdown. All of these happened to me while I was grinding there. And if I didn't grind with a wizard, holy shit, I might have been struggling to live. And mind you, again, 380 DP. So yeah. Now let's talk about money. So Olin's is unfeasible. Like I said, there's only a handful of players that can make minor money there. I don't think they're going to be making the big bang buckos down in Olin's. But in terms of Turos, this spot's actually somewhat profitable to some degree. It's roughly around 320-ish million. According to Garmoth, and these are PC numbers, mind you, so console players are going to have probably far less than this, which we're looking at probably 250 mil an hour until people master the grind like Sakraya. So that's sort of like going to be the down part right now, is sort of people are learning how to grind it, learning the best rotations, learning how to perform the rotations and what loot scrolls to use and when it's worth it, and so on and so on. So until people figure out the sauce, it's going to be kind of on the low spectrum. Now, for me, I only grinded one specific rotation, which I think the roto was pretty shitty. I'm not even gonna lie to you, it was pretty dog shit. Now, this is within first 2 hours, mind you, so don't take my trash numbers as like law. This is not what's gonna happen. I'm telling you right now, the numbers were pretty dog shit. So for the first hour, I pulled roughly around 4K trash on a yellow. And then the second hour, I did a blue, which I pulled 2.8 or 3K. I cannot remember. I think it was more close to 2.8, 2.9. But either which way, pretty terrible. Pretty trash, honestly. It was just very trash. But I'm going to chalk that up to the rotation that we were doing because me and Hams, we were over clearing the fuck out of that shit. We were literally just speed running that. We would, go up to mobs and they just die. So I think we needed a bigger rotation, honestly, in order to just kind of keep the momentum going because we had a lot of downtime. The travel time between the packs were really not that great, and overall just the rotation I just don't believe was really that good. But 4K is really not that good at all. I'm just going to tell you right now, 4K trash is terrible. And the reason that it's terrible, the trash loot is legitimately worth the same amount as Sakraya. 1800 or 18K, not 1800, I'm sorry. 18K. So why the fuck am I grinding Turos whenever I can literally just go to Sakraya and make more money? And mind you, I'm looking at Garmoth right now. The average trash per hour is 7.1k. That's good, but I pull 8.1 to 8.5 in Sakraya. So I'm already making more money in terms of trash in Sakraya. So that's kind of shitty in its own self. The crazy thing though is that the Caphras here are juiced as fuck. We're talking about 30 Caphras an hour and about 40 to 50 dust per hour, which is very, very nice. Not to mention the armor and weapon stones, again, very nice. We're looking at almost upwards of 100 fucking armor stones and weapons per hour, which is really good. And then we also have the embers, which you can turn into flames of despair, which is used for Fallen God, which is also kind of what everyone's rushing for. I personally don't care. We'll get into that in a second. But overall, Turos is kind of okay. It's a duo grind spot. You can make some money here, but it's a war zone right now on console, and you'll find more problems than money there. So it's just, in my opinion, not worth it as of right now. It's like when Valencia got reworked and everyone was fighting in Sulfur. It's just, don't bother. Don't fucking bother, because everyone's going to be dogpiled in there for the first few months. And then eventually people will get bored and realize that it's not that good. And then they will go back to their old ways of grinding, you know, Sulfur or Sakraya, Starzan, etc. But overall, in terms of feasible grind spots, Turos is probably the best, followed by Thornwood. And Thornwood is easily like one of the better grind spots because one, you can grind it solo, and two, it's about 300 mil per hour. You're still looking at 21 Caphras per hour, anywhere between like 10 and 15 dust according to Garmoth. And overall, it's just a better grind spot in general because the gear score requirements are not that high. So yeah, personally, if you're just trying to grind Odyllita and you don't care about Fallen God, I mean, just go to Thornwood. You're actually going to be able to grind there more than anything. So that's just kind of like I guess the better part about Thornwood. So now let's kind of just discuss the elephant in the room. Fallen God. Now everyone is rushing to get this piece of gear, and normally I would too, except for the fact that I know it doesn't make a difference right now. Mind you, you're not going to get a DP gain unless you get it to Pry and Duo, and I think Duo is sort of like the cutoff point where most people are comfortable in leaving it at. They're not really you know, you're not really going to go past a Duo unless you're crazy and for some reason have costumes out the ass, because it's very expensive to tap on Fallen God. So with that being said, the idea of going for Fallen God, it just seems like a hassle. It's one of those things that if you aren't a PvPer, which this is strictly just a PvPer right now talking in the sense of like Fallen God's use, it's going to make minuscule amounts of difference unless you're at Duo. And even at Duo, I still don't think it's going to make a difference. So let's just take a look for a second, okay? I'm on Garmoth right now, and we're looking at Fallen God. At base, it is 99 DP. You get some monster damage reduction, which is very, very nice. Good for grinding, but overall, not really that much of an upgrade. It's basically a C10 dim. Pretty normal stats. We get it to Pry, we get some HP, we get some damage reduction base, and we get some evasion. The monster DR does not really go up, so whatever. So the issue here is that I'm 375 Nuver. That's the thing, right? I'm 375 Nuver. I die at 383 Kudum. If we swap on over to Kudum for a second, I'm 385 Kudum, okay? If we go back to my C10 dim, which is what I'm currently wearing, I'm 382 right now. I keep saying 383. I didn't mean to say it. Well, technically it's 383. I gotta put it at +3 real quick. So my +3 Kudum at Pen, 383. I am fucking eating shit still. I go into the BA and, you know, people ask to combo me all the time because they know I have DP. I've been one-tapped numerous amounts of times. I've had people, you know, 2 to 3 tap me. They hit me with the most minor combo. A striker. I tested this. A fucking striker can grab me and still one combo me with 269 AP. To add insult to injury, he went even lower as 245, and he was still pretty damn close to killing me with 383 DP. We are playing a game right now where DP is a fucking joke, and that's probably the thing that pisses me off the most, because my gear costed me upwards of like 100 some odd billion silver, including the pen narcs and the Caphras that I have in my fucking Nuver and my Dandy and my fucking Kudum. and yet I am getting one-tapped by people with no fucking gear. So you'll have to just forgive me if I don't give a shit about Fallen God, because it's not going to help me. It's not going to save me. It's not going to fix anything. And then for you disto users, you're worse off than me. I'm dying at 383 Kudum, and you ain't going to have that. So guess what? You're still going to get one-tapped. You're still going to get blown the fuck up by some ranger or archer from 6 miles away down south that doesn't even realize that you're in render distance, okay? Why do I care about Fallen God? Until they tune back the damage and fix the entire game where not everyone can just insta-kill you with 3 abilities, I'll maybe give a shit. But until then, I'm gonna just keep grinding Sakraya and keep to myself, because right now the state of PvP is the most annoying shit on planet Earth. So sure, I'll let everybody else go for their Fallen God. They can grind the shit out of Odyllita and then get the hell out of there, and then I'll come in whenever it's free grind, and then boom bam bing bell, I'll get Fallen God in less than 30 hours. Easy. But anyway, on that note, Turos, decent grind spot. Olens, yeah, fucking right. Every other spot, mediocre at best, or nobody can grind it. Thornwood is okay, but again, I'd say it's mediocre in comparison to other spots. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.